Hello and welcome to another Tune for Media lesson. Today I'd like to show you how to go from this to this. So this is a sample that I recorded in my studio. It's a 14 inches floor tom, and it was recorded in stereo pair microphones in XY configurations. And today's lesson is mostly about the power of sample processing in Ableton Live, and it will be mostly revolving around Ableton's sampler. Okay, so let's load up a new MIDI track, and we're going to roughly build something similar to this rack. And at the end of the lesson, make sure to check the link below to download this rack for free. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to do is to load up sampler. Okay, and I'm going to load up my floor tom sample. Okay, first thing that I'm going to do is to hit snap. I'm going to bring it here to catch the transient. Here we go. Great. And I'm going to hit 0 in scale because I don't want different notes to affect the pitch. And now this is what I have. So obviously I need to change the behavior of this sample. So I'm going to go to filter/global and I'm going to do some stuff to the envelope. First of all, let's add some velocity. And I'm going to change it from the loop mode from none to trigger. And I'm going to shape my envelope so each time I hit a note, it will go through this envelope and play the entire sample. Okay, I'm also going to bring the attack a little bit slower, like 1.3. And I'm going to bring the filter a little bit down because I want it to be like kind of a cinematic, low, subby boom. Okay. This is what I have right now. Let's go to pitch/oscillator. And I'm going to pitch it down, let's say, an octave. Let's bring up the volume a little bit. So it's already started to sound cinematic, like a big timpani drum. Let's bring the spread up a little bit. I think it makes the top frequencies fluctuate between left and right. Anyway, it sounds really cool. And I'm going to add this oscillator. And in FM synthesis, I'm going to choose noise oscillator. It's going to be fixed like that. And I'm using the noise oscillator to mostly add some attack and sizzle to make the sound a little more interesting and more complex. So it has a pretty fast decay. And let's bring up the volume. And in my rack here, I put this sizzle, and it basically plays with the decay time. So I have something like that. Let's go. Let's go back here. Just drop down a little bit this one. Also in this rack, you notice that I'm actually playing with the tuning. So it's not just one octave below, it can go all the way down here. So you can play with this. Okay, next I'm going to leave sampler like that, and I'm going to add some processing. So the first thing that I'm going to add is overdrive. And let's search for the sweet spot. What's cool about the overdrive that it's actually squaring the waveform, and it's allowing all of the harmonic frequencies kind of blast out, and it makes the sample play with a lot more sustain, and the note is actually sound a lot more melodic. So it's kind of like having some kind of a drone. So if you play with the attack like I did here, you can actually have some kind of a drone without all the attack. It's pretty powerful, and I just want to remind you that our starting point started from this. Okay? And I actually have a pretty cool idea. We can load up a cool Max for Live device called the LFO MIDI. And let's just load up a couple of these. And I want to map one of them to this drive, and I want to map the other one to rate. And this one's going to be a sine wave, and this is going to be down. And let's just do it slower. And also, I wanted this one to be retriggered. So each time I play a note, it will start from the pick. So this is just a cool idea I had. But anyways, so I've added this drive. So in this rack, you can see that I'm having drive here. Let's just close this up. Here's drive, and this is basically what it does. Cool. Next, I've added this EQ8, and I put a little bit of EQ. And what it mostly does is for high pass and harmonics. High pass is basically simply high pass. So you can use this sample not just for this big giant subby hits, but also this kind of a high percussive sounds. And this one is basically bringing up a notch in the low mid frequencies like that. And you can actually create with the drive and this knob kind of cool effects with the harmonic frequencies. So this is pretty powerful. I just want to remind you that our starting point is this. Sounds like Hollywood. Okay, so last thing is to add some reverb. And the knob is basically just to playing with the decay time. And reverb is fairly easy. You know, just play with it until you get a nice sound. And what I like about the sizzle or the other oscillator that we're adding here is that with the combination of the reverb, it actually adds some interest in this sound, and it adds some more frequencies to be reflected with the reverb. Cool. And lastly, I just put a limiter, mostly to be my gain control or my volume, all the way up to 0, even though I tried to make this sample go just a little bit below 0, so it won't pass 0. So you see the limiter is not working at all, but you know, just in case I want to put some extra processing and maybe make the gain a little higher. So this lesson is mostly to show you some cool ideas and the great power of sample processing in Ableton Live. And if you like this rack, go ahead and download this from the link below. And you can also join my mailing list on my website. And I hope you learned something from this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more and see you next time. Stay tuned.